some kind of unknown terror on this world. City officials released a statement claiming that the sighting was nothing more than a cluster of tubifex worms. Tubifex worms, or sludge worms as they're sometimes known, can be found in rivers and lakes throughout North America. They typically live in sediment-rich, watery environments and can endure harsh conditions most other species cannot. Conspiracy theorists don't buy the public announcement, claiming it's a convenient cover-up for what they believe is clear evidence of an alien infestation in North Carolina. This startling footage was filmed in the early 90s by Steve Lee. It's hard to track down the original, but this clip was uploaded to the YouTube channel Phenomenine in 2010. It appears to show a bizarre ghostly orb floating in front of a security camera. In 1991, couple Stephen and Beth Lee moved to what they thought was going to be their dream home in Black Forest, Colorado. Shortly after moving into the picturesque two-story log cabin home with their two young sons, some very strange events began to unfold. Just a few days after moving in, the two boys began noticing strange lights in their bedrooms, bizarre flashes and floating orbs. Soon, Mr. and Mrs. Lee also saw the phenomenon in their own master bedroom. In the weeks that followed, a paranormal storm of activity took place in their house. Rattling chains could be heard at night time, disembodied whispers and footsteps were a routine occurrence, objects would often move on their own, furniture displaced, plates smashed in the kitchen. Orchestral music was heard filling the downstairs parlour one still evening. Strangest of all, a sharp chemical smell would often appear out of nowhere. So pungent was the odour that it would burn the eyes and nose of anyone nearby. Lee initially thought the strange happenings were the works of pranksters, intent on driving the family out of the quiet backwater town. He eventually installed state-of-the-art security systems to try and catch the vandals in the act. Lee's security cameras would go on to catch a plethora of strange phenomena, which convinced him that his house was haunted. This video here shows strange shapes floating through the air. Orbs of light streak through the night air, leaving a strange glowing effect in their wake. The most striking of all is the last object captured. It looks to be quite solid and moves in an erratic motion. Some viewers have noted that the object almost looks like a tropical fish superimposed over the top, with special effects to make it look eerie. The way it moves does indeed look like the motion of a fish. This has led some people to believe it's a hoax. Despite the critics, Lee became convinced that his house was infested with spirits. This photo was taken in one of the bedrooms of the Black Forest home. In the reflection of the mirror, you can see two eerie faces glaring back at the camera. They have sinister glowing eyes fixed in sunken black sockets. There's a menacing expression on their faces, yet at the same time they look distant and lifeless. This image has been analysed hundreds of times, yet over and over again experts are left scratching their heads, unable to explain the photograph. So what do you think? Are the Lee family telling the truth? Is this log cabin deep in the Colorado wilderness truly haunted by something not of this world?
And there you go. We'll continue with our Slap Ham segment after we take a weather break. And we got the conclusion to that. And I'm going to be talking about next some of the guest lineup I got coming up. Ideas for the coming episodes of Way Out There here on GJRB Online. So stay tuned for that. That's coming up next here on GJRB Online, here on the Way Out There show, here on Spreaker across America. If you like our program, hit that like button. Love to hear from you. We'll have a shout out next hour to all our Spreaker listeners listening across America, so stay tuned for the shout out that's on the way. But right now it's time for weather on the Fives. Yep, and we're going to talk about some of the weather going on, some of the interesting weather. We got a lot of heat in our weather, and as you tell, we're going to be talking about that coming up next here on GJRB Online. So let's take a look at some of the temperatures across America as we bring you here on Weather on the Fives. And take a look at some of the temperatures across America. Let's see, 69 degrees in, let's see, we got here. Let's hit that play button again because it's got to clear it up just a little bit. Seattle, Washington, 72 degrees in Portland, Oregon, 89 degrees in Salt Lake City, Utah, 99 expected for Denver. Wow, Denver, Colorado is going to be 99. 101 in Wichita, Kansas, Omaha, Nebraska checking in with 98 degrees. 94 in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota, and 92 degrees expected in Chicago. Those are some of the current temperatures. Those are some of the ones you're hearing right now are current temperatures. These are the current temperatures. 100 right now in El Paso. Sorry about that. 97 in Charlotte, North Carolina, 95 right now in Washington, D.C., and they're expecting 100 the whole weekend. How about that? Current temperatures continue, 69 for current temperatures. Wow. Let's take a look at our dew points. I'm going to pass that. Let's see. Okay, so those are some of the temperatures and some of the expected temperatures all the way around here. So let's do that. Right now, though, let's listen to some of the heat and some of the weather. Here's Weather Nation.
Back to Weather Nation, and back on your Thursday. Yesterday we saw a funnel cloud near Sioux Falls, South Dakota, in association with a powerful line of strong to severe thunderstorms, and we may be seeing, unfortunately, more images like this, and it can be a bit more ominous than this, even as we get later on this afternoon and into your evening hours. Thanks for joining us here on Weather Nation. We're trying to threat force severe weather. Not to mention, the heat here is very, very serious. Chicago, you can be approaching heat indices of 115 plus today and tomorrow. So this is, again, an epic heat advisor or heat situation for us here in the parts of the upper Midwest, and that could help fuel some of these severe storms. There is relief from the heat in sight. So if you're joining us here from Chicago or Madison, Wisconsin, or any of these pink shaded areas under excessive heat warnings, and you're looking for Mother Nature's form of air conditioning, it is coming. You've got to wait a couple days. In the near term, again, Chicago, Des Moines, anybody here in this pink shaded area and these orange shaded areas, you need to be limiting your time outdoors. We're talking about temperatures that are going to be in the 90s and the 100s. It's going to feel hotter than that. So again, those overnight lows are not going to help you out a lot. We're talking about lows in the low 80s, many instances. That's why I want to start things off with this map. An 81-degree low with the humidity, which tends to peak, by the way, during the early morning hours, is going to feel more like 90 degrees for your low temperature in Chicago, for your low temperature in Des Moines. By the way, Des Moines, where of course we got all the corn, our dew point's going to be a little bit higher. Long story short, that heat index may even be above 90 for your low temperature. So there is no relief in sight. You can't leave the windows open, or that's not going to help you out. Have air conditioning, and you know some folks that may not have air conditioning.
And yeah, that's some of the heat that you're going to hear. But right now, there's going to have to get either a different tape or it's a bad quality recording. So I'm just going to give you some idea exactly what you expect. There's a lot of heat in the air and a lot of heat and humidity. And like I mentioned earlier, the vast heat in this part of the country is taking over, and temperatures in the 90s and in 100 over the weekend in Washington, D.C. We'll have another weather update coming up at the bottom of the hour, 25 past the hour. We'll do a live with Weather Nation. Okay, so that's coming up around the end of this 50 minutes of nonstop talk. We're going to take a break for station identification. This is the GJRB Online Network.